Hi, this is Brianna. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm using my journey to help you on your journey. Today I have a message for those of us who have not quite began the journey towards living the life that we want to live. So I'm talking about resistance today. You know, when you hit that point where you have a decision to make or the first step to make and you're just not quite moving forward, you may not know why. Sometimes we feel that and we think that means we're not meant to do it. And so we don't really question it. We just stay in our safe place and don't move forward. So I want to challenge that feeling of resistance and offer a couple of reasons it might be there. So I have two examples of times that I was hesitant to make a decision, even though I knew it was the right decision. So the first, or I guess one time I knew it was the right decision, one time I did not. So the first is when I quit my job. I had decided in April that I was gonna quit my job in August, but then I decided that I was gonna do it in July. So I knew I was telling people. When it came time to actually put in my 2 weeks notice, I was so nervous. And it was such a weird feeling because there was no reason that I should want to stay at that job. It was so bad that my husband even asked me, "Are you sure you want to quit? Does this mean you don't want to quit?" I definitely wanted to quit, but I was just scared of making a change in my life that I really didn't know was gonna be successful or not. Now in my spirit, I knew that that job wasn't gonna take me to where I wanted to be in my life, but I had been there for 2 years, so it was comfortable. That's one reason we feel anxiety, simply because we're stepping out of our comfort zones and we no longer will have control. We don't know what the future looks like. Even if you hate your job, you kind of know what's gonna be going on in 6 months. Now, the second thing that I have failed to make a step forward with is some of these other ideas. So like drop shipping, I've mentioned that on the channel before. It sounds so interesting to me, but I think about it, I'm like, okay, so people are making millions of dollars doing this, but I'm just not moving forward. And what I've come to learn about that is that thing is not for me. Sometimes a decision needs to have a little bit of emotion to it, and I have no emotion to that because I want to serve people. I can't really serve people if I'm just selling them products. I also am a communicator. I want to share my thoughts. I want to encourage people with my thoughts and tell people stories. I can't do that through that avenue. So of course that wasn't an emotional, I can't move forward, but it's a reason we don't move forward sometimes. It's like, it's not for you. But I think when something's not for you, you often feel a lack of emotion about it. Whereas if you feel a lot of emotion, even fear, that doesn't mean that it's not for you. A lot of times that means you're just scared to change. I was talking to a girl a couple weeks ago. It was interesting because I was at a party and she's sitting in a room all by herself, a very beautiful girl. So I walked through to get something to drink and I stopped and sat next to her and just struck up a conversation to learn about her. And I learned she is a graphic designer, but she was working at like Amazon. She wanted to be a dancer and she is a very good dancer. And she was like, I have a plan to move to Texas and try out for such and such dance squad. And I'm like, okay, so is that what you're doing this time? And she's like, I haven't decided. And I'm like, what is there to decide? It's a good decision. It's a good choice. It's the way you're going to realize your dreams. But she just wasn't moving forward. So I did my best to have a talk with her about the fact that she's not moving forward because it's not right. Everything on paper is right. She's just not moving forward because she's in this point of complacency. And the other thing to realize is sometimes you make a choice, you take action, it might not work out for you, but that is absolutely not the worst thing that can happen. Of course, if you get married and you know you're not supposed to, that's a different story. But if you move somewhere and it's not the best place for you to be, a lot of times you can just move right back in with your mama and get back on your feet, find a job, start over. My husband joined the Army and that didn't work out for him, or he wasn't happy with that situation. 5 years later, we're right back in the same place. He started the same job he started last year, but he has grown. He starting at the same job. he was with before we left. But as a professional, as a person, as a man, he's grown so much from his Army experience, and he's still taking another step. It's like, okay, that thing is not going to work for him. What's next? He's going to start a master's program. So you can always just make a choice. If it's not life or death, you know, with marriage it's supposed to be life or death. You really usually have a chance to start over if it doesn't work out. So don't be afraid. Take the next step, jump off the ledge. Don't make a temporary decision feel permanent. Nothing's really permanent. Take your chances and do whatever it takes to move forward. And sometimes that's taking action and failing, but sometimes you take action and you succeed. How about that? Have a good day and good luck.